Hello everyone, and welcome back to Beast Talk with Alexandru. And today we're gonna have the second part of my conversation with Dave. Um, Now, this is a bit of a deeper conversation about mental health. And for you guys there that are a bit more sensitive or you get hurty feelings very easily, I suggest you skip this one. If not, if you are ready for the truth, if you are ready for the hard feelings and the open conversation, then stick in. This one is going to be interesting. Thank you. Now back to the episode. So I'd say let's move on to a subject that you mentioned, health and mental health. We as a contractor sometimes is not easy, is it?
I think, look, in this modern day society that we're in, often cases, I think mental health is a gimmick of a word thrown around by corporates and companies to make it seem like they really care. But deep down, productivity numbers that they can show to the shareholders is really what they deeply care about. And I think it reflects in a lot of the industries, including F1,
Sponsorships as well.
and that as well.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to talk about actually. At the moment, both of us in the industry, throughout our self-employment, throughout our companies, the contracts that we're doing, we're working night shift, right? And maybe a lot of the viewers, a lot of the listeners might be able to relate to this, to working night shifts and what sort of impact and psychological impact it has on
Family
a person.
time.
Family time, energy it sucks out of you. It's, believe me or not, it is hard doing YouTube that me and you obviously both do outside of working in the industry, especially in a high-paced industry like composites. On top of obviously working night shift, and there's so much energy that takes out of you, spiritual, psychological, and physical, that takes out of you. Do you know what I mean? And I would love to know your opinions on working night shifts. And personally, it affects me to the point where I isolate myself from people. Recently, I've noticed the effects on me. I've never worked night shifts before, by the way. After 7 months of doing this, I've become more isolated from people. Even on the weekends, I stay away from wanting to go to Tesco's and shops because I just don't want to be around people for some reason. I have become more cynical and pessimistic in general because I feel like it just has a inherent effect on my moods and behaviors, which I've never seen before, and I've nailed it down to this one thing. So maybe for some of you who, even outside of the industry, do you know what I mean, work in Amazon, work in Tesco, stacking shelves at night, we feel you. Do you know what I mean? We feel what that's like and what sort of an impact
definitely.
it can have on your mental health.
Well, what I can say is, for myself, night shift on this contract is been for the last 6 months, so not that long.
Yeah.
I've done maybe another 6 or 7 months before on another contract, same supplier though. I think you need to find my personal opinion. I don't know about you, but find a balance. Find a balance where you take at least 2 days off of work, or at least one day to recover. When I take only one day, I find is not enough to recover because your life is not just work. It's for myself, it's family and kids as well, as you could see, everyone who's around me, and they require your energy and your time, and they don't want you to be grumpy, and they don't want you to be whatever you bringing on, because you might not have a great shift. Things might have not worked or went as well as you wanted, and you maybe were hoping to be, somewhere more productive or more, whatever the case may be. And you're thinking, oh, maybe everything was against you. Sometimes it happens when things are just hitting you like a brick wall in front of you. Every single thing seems like a challenge. Sometimes there are shifts like that, and it's like, oh, that needs doing, and now, oh, now it's another thing that needs doing, and then, and sometimes, unfortunately, for me, I've learned to be self-dependent. So, if you give me a drawing, and if you give me everything that I need to work with, or I know where to get it, where's the freezers, where's this, that, and the other, and I can, go and supply myself with all the materials and all the stuff that I need, I can work independently as well as working in a team. So I'm not, I can be, as you would call it, an introvert or an extrovert. I can do both. I can be very, I
Yeah.
can put my headphones in and put on a playlist and be all night there like a hermit with my part doing that, and not basically, like you're saying, isolating myself from everything and everyone else. um, or I can work in a team and I can have a laugh, and we can listen to jokes or tell each other jokes or whatever. Though I'm horrible of telling jokes. My colleagues at work, I've tried a little bit to tell some of my Romanian jokes, and
But it's
they
hard when you
went like,
translate it, isn't it? It doesn't sometimes quite make sense. This is what I find with
no, I'm not.
Slovakian
I
jokes.
just don't have any humor, mate. I can understand humor and I can understand sarcasm very well. I mean,
Very
my
dry.
partner, yeah, but my jokes are very dry.
Yeah.
Very dry, drier than a martini with olives.
My
Yeah.
humour is just brain rot at this point. It's too many memes. It's like social media ruining our minds. I'm too brain rotted at this point.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting what you say there. My biggest issue that I find some of the hardest of all the things to deal with when working in night shift, when working in such a fast-paced industry, is time. I'm finding it so hard. Like something that Matthew McConaughey said on a recent podcast that I've listened to is learn to surf the wave of time rather than trying to go head against it. And this is something that I'm still struggling with at the moment, is like getting with the time and allowing some things to slip, allowing some things to fall by the wayside, and then you catch up on them eventually. Because working night shifts at a Formula One team, which most of the teams do, or at least half of the teams here in the
Well,
UK.
they have to. It's a 24-hour production. Even suppliers now, they have to, because
Absolutely.
they have to keep up with the demand, and they have to put, it's very short time scale, as you very well
Yeah.
know, and they have to take those parts out of the factory on that time scale. So you are working against time, against yourself sometimes. But it's interesting that you said about Matthew McConaughey. There's a video about him. Matthew McConaughey was very well known in the rom-com industry.
Absolutely, that's where he nurtured
And
his craft.
there's a very good video for you guys who's interested out there, where he puts it as in he wanted out of the
I think I may have
rom-com.
listened to this exact same speech.
And he wasn't kind of allowed. He was like, no, you are rom-com, that's what you do, that's who you are. And unfortunately, we get labeled, whichever industry, whether you
The whole world
Hollywood
loves to
industry.
label us nowadays.
Yeah, I think is the internet and all this. That's why I'm saying about I don't think it's a good idea. And some countries I've seen now, they've limited, actually. I think it's somewhere Norway or Finland or something. They revised their law, and now I think they're gonna have something like a ban on mobile phones, or at least the apps that they can use on a mobile phone for children under 14, which I think is very good. Because you know what, I've been a contractor for a long time, and I've made it into not just a business, a lifestyle, if you like. And I think that's where the listener has to kind of think is, would I like that in my life? Would I like my life to be in such a way designed that I'm able to do all these things and travel, but at the same time, there's another saying that they have a lot, and you can hear it a lot on social media these days, and everyone's envious of what you've got, but not how you got it.
100%. That's
You
the
might
point I
have
was going to
heard it.
bring onto
And
as well.
I think this is a point that the listener has to kind of understand. Get into an industry that might seem very glamorous, and I'm saying we need people, definitely we need people, and good people to work,
And young people
and
to
young
come into the
people
industry.
with the strength but you have to take the good with the bad, because there are going to be downsides and down moments. You're not going to have just a uphill ride and you're going to be with the team, and now you're in Monaco, and you're going to have the times when the supervisor or the manager is stressed and he's yelling at you, or he's telling you that you haven't, and you have to take the criticism that part was rubbish, or it came out scrap, and now they have to spend more time and material and maybe give it to someone else because they don't want you to let them down again. And that happens, and it's part of life, and you have to take the good with the bad, and not just take like Instagram, for example, has a very bad reputation for this, because everyone's posting the highlights of their life. No one
100%.
wants to share the bad moments when, when you are like 100 hours, for example, not very long, maybe a year and a half ago, up in Buckinghamshire at a company contracting, and it's 180 miles away from here,
Yeah.
nearly. And I was like, you can't come home to have dinner with your partner, and it is difficult.
Mate, yeah, 100%. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice. It all takes a lot of sacrifice, and in often cases, we as people, we look at these people like Elon Musk, like any of the people that you may know for their success, and we just see the surface level success, but we don't see the divorce they may have gone through, the children that don't speak to them, the hours that they sacrifice on every single hour of every single day to get
100%.
where they are. It takes so much out of you as a person, changes you as a person. And we just see the surface level of it. We don't see the struggles and the hardships behind the person. And somebody, for example, I'm very good at hiding all the mental health stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not as good. As you can see, a man crying is not.
Mate, I think that's something
yeah.
that we need more of. Just like not have any shame or guilt around it.
Yeah.
I think crying, I think being emotional. I mean,
Yeah,
my
emotion,
girlfriend,
no,
she's in a room here, my beautiful
emotion.
girlfriend, by the way, and I can get very emotional about certain things. And there's times where I don't get emotional because I suppress it, because that's what we've been told from a young age of you're a man, you're a boy,
man.
grow up, man up.
Put your big boy pants on, yeah?
Exactly.
And
But
get on with it.
now,
Very
as a grown man,
Very true.
understanding the importance of feeling out those emotions and letting yourself cry, letting yourself feel out those emotions.
I think we are allowed to have emotion, and I think the society has shown us or told us that we are not allowed to somehow.
I mostly think most women will reiterate it's one of the sexiest things and most attractive things is if a man actually shows his emotions.
Well, thank you for that. No one's ever told me that.
Yeah, but honestly,
I've always
that's
tried
great.
to hide it. I've always tried to hide it. Yeah.
I think naturally, inherently, we do. Well, that's what we are told, like I said, from a young age. And it's about now showing that men and women, we feel the same way. We feel our emotions the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is, of course, women are more emotional creatures, hence why they're better at certain work positions. Like, they're more compassionate, they have more empathy. But equally, we mustn't disregard men's emotions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because, like I said, we're supposed to be this strong stone stature. Do you know what I mean? This statue of a character. But
well, I'm not feeling very strong right now. But yeah.
But that's but you're strong enough to do this on camera. Which, think about how many people wouldn't be strong enough to do this sort of thing on camera because they have some sort of shame or guilt around exposing themselves and their emotion. Like, it puts you. You know what I mean?
I think I've put a brave face for long enough, and not that it didn't got me anywhere. It has, but I think personally, it's kind of, you have to get through an understanding that we are all humans at the end of the day, and we all go, whether our lives are slightly different, we might take different paths, and it's at the end of the day, we all experience life. And I think that's the most important thing. You have to remember, at the end of the day, we are humans. We are not robots. We are not machines. We do have feelings, and whether we express them or not, whether we hide them or not, that comes down with a certain level of where you are. I mean, I'm a 43 years old man. I feel old now saying that, but
you look younger than me, mate. To be honest.
Oh, thanks. Not quite. I'm trying to hide my wrinkles and put a beard on to. But at the end of the day, I think that is exactly it. And I've learned, let's put it straight, not to give a shit. I wouldn't be on camera. I wouldn't be doing all this if I would care how other people think, or not exactly how they think, because that comes with their level of experience and what they experience in their life, in their personal situations. But for me personally, I got to the point where I'm like a little bit, okay, I played the game in so many different ways, and the results were always similar, not very different. And I've got to the point where, hold on a minute, your opinion about me, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean anything because, and here's the truth, he's 17 and my son, like I'm telling to my youngest one, to Luca, I named my company after him.
You did,
after,
yeah.
After all. And which Ivan there might feel a little bit jealous, but he will have his
He's
fair
mature
share.
enough.
He will have
understands.
his fair share of good things to come.
We
his
all
way.
go through these lessons. Like, it's a path that you learn as a man as you grow up. Do you know what I mean? A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have probably agreed with you because I would have been stuck in that mindset of don't show your emotion, show strength, don't show face.
It's not
you
just
know?
about emotions. I've been told so many times about, even by colleagues, even at work sometimes, oh, you should get, oh, you're going crazy, man. You're going too much onto social media. You're going too much onto the rabbit holes. Oh, too many conspiracy theories. This,
because
that,
you're
and the other.
different. That's why. Difference is always highlighted.
Here's the thing. I've learned one thing, and I think, like I'm saying, I'm old enough and ugly enough to understand. At the end of the day, you're not paying my bills. So your opinion, it doesn't matter. Because as long as your opinion doesn't affect my personal life, doesn't affect my income, doesn't change my lifestyle, how I live, how I, how I travel, how I have fun, how I spend time with my family, all those good things that people don't see in the background, as long as that doesn't change, I don't really care about your opinion. With an exception, I do care about someone's opinion where they coming from a point where they handing a hand to help me out, not
to knock you down, to bring
knock
you down.
not to disapprove that I'm doing something wrong. Because I don't know if you agree with this, but this is something that I've noticed a lot. A lot of people are opinionated. I am very strongly opinionated.
Same here.
I've got strong opinions about certain subjects and things. But here's the thing. For me, personally, you can be opinionated and you're entitled to your idea and to your opinion, fine. It doesn't mean that I'm willing and I have to take it on board. Because, this is what makes us different as humans. And at the same time, having a debate and having a disagreement, we might get on and disagree with certain things going along. But at the end of the day, that opinion matters to me when you are not necessarily helping me, maybe giving me a life lesson.
Yeah.
Maybe
I totally
giving me
understand.
something, a different point of view where you're saying, look, I went through this path, you haven't. I've done this, and this is a lesson for you here, if you're willing to take it on board. And then, yes, I will listen. But when you haven't been there, so like, for example, someone coming on now and saying, oh, that was a rubbish podcast. Oh, you were both rambling on and da-da-da. I didn't learn anything, and I'm going to be, fair enough, I respect your opinion. You didn't learn anything. That's fair, that's fine. But have you been there? Have you been in front of a camera? Have you done it? Have you actually been on? And this is when I find criticism is
It's just hate.
valuable or not valuable.
Yes.
Is it adding any value to the life of the person you're giving that advice?
I
or
totally
you're
agree.
giving that critic,
Yeah.
because it's easy to criticize other people. It's very easy to, we were talking about earlier about spelling, about words and magic and all that. It's very easy to cast that kind of shadow on someone without thinking how it's going to affect their life.
Put yourself in their shoes, because there's a difference between hate and constructive criticism.
Yeah.
For example,
and there's a lot of it on especially on social media these days.
And one of my responses, if somebody just comes on my video, on my channel,
block.
and just hates, actually, sometimes I just say to them, okay, I'm looking forward to your response video. I'm looking forward to your video and how you're going to tackle the subject, the topic.
Definitely.
Because I'd be more than happy to watch it. I think a part of being out there in the industry and also just on the internet or whatnot is being open-minded. I'm very, like we said, we're both very opinionated. We both got our opinions. We both have things we believe in, and we strong behind our core values and what we believe in. But there's a difference between being closed-minded and not listening to anything and just doing it your own way, and being open-minded. I'm happy to take on criticism. I'm happy to listen, and if I'm wrong, I take it on the chin. And I'll like
We
earlier,
take criticism at work every day.
Yeah.
On our work, don't we? We evaluate it and judge every day.
and if
about
and,
what
and
we
if I'm
do.
wrong, if I mess something up, then so be it. I'll take it on the chin. I'll go, yeah, I've you know what I mean? I've messed up there, and yeah.
here's another, to change a little bit to something a bit more fun. If money would be no object, no limit, no ceiling, whatever, what's your favorite car? What'd you buy?
Brand new Honda Jazz. I'm joking. Honda, if you want to sponsor me, by the way, get in touch. We'll do like a K20 swap. Do you know K20?
No.
It's the EP3 Type R, the older, obviously, Type R
Okay.
Civic, 2-litre naturally aspirated engine. A lot of people do in the modified car scene. They put a K20 in the same Jazz that I have, which makes it an unbelievable rocket ship, because that car weighs 900 odd kilograms
Right.
on its own. And imagine putting a 200 horsepower standard engine into it, doing a couple exhaust modification, and you got 240 horsepower, small little car like that. A lot of people take him to Nürburgring and whatnot.
Wow.
But anyway, that's beside the part of what you've asked. I would say it's a very tough one, because I don't really, personally, I've never really dreamed of supercars. That's never been my thing.
Really?
But the only supercar, if you can call it that, some people call them sports car, is a 911 997 generation.
Okay.
That's what I would
So
go for. A
not,
Porsche
not the
911.
egg fried one, not the 996, the next generation.
The next gen up.
The rounded headlights.
Exactly. And there's
Okay.
one, by the way, there's a shout out if you're watching John, by the way. There's a guy called Johnny in the industry who's also a contractor, which I've met him along the way. And he has a beautiful C4S, Carrera 4S, 911, 997. I would go for a C2S, because that's the rear wheel drive. So you want to get the proper, authentic, old school rear wheel drive experience. Probably what I'd go for. Reasonable. I could have said something a lot more ridiculous, but I've never really, like I said, had huge dreams of crazy supercars. Most of my car dreams are attainable cars, with a very few, like,
Very down to earth, very humble. I like that.
I don't know. I've always been like this. Like, one of my dream cars is a Mazda RX-8. Do you know what I mean? You can buy them for $3,000 on Facebook Marketplace and they'll be absolutely sorted. You can get a Nissan 350Z.
Yeah.
It's because I grew up with a generation of Need for Speed Underground,
Yes,
Underground 1, Underground 2, and PlayStation 2. That was my childhood, obviously. And
Ivan, do you still have the PlayStation, the PSP Slim Edition?
I used to have a PSP as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably there. Yeah.
That's what
That
I grew
was
up
my
with.
first gaming console, and once I finished the Need for Speed, I don't think I ever. I played the Wild Sims. Do you remember Sims?
I remember The Sims.
Yeah, I
Funny enough you
played
say
Sims
that.
for a while. Yeah, I built some mansions and stuff, but then I've used it as a DVD player. I'll be honest. Once I finished those two games, I don't think I ever finished Sims, but I finished Need for Speed on the hard level. And once I finished it up, I was like, do you know what? It's not for me.
My girlfriend's
game-
obsessed with it.
This game is like, I've done it. It's like I'm making someone else's money.
Yeah, I mean, that's what realistically, like we said earlier, it's a distraction. All of these things, all of these entertainments are
I
a
don't have
distraction.
time, to be honest. I don't have a lot of time.
I don't game anymore for that exact reason. If all my free time I either spend with the people that I love, just hear that one there.
Yeah, there you go.
Wonder what that
the
was.
mics are probably picking it up.
Do you ever
now.
do that when you hear an exhaust and you think, what is that? That's something that I always do. And I can, often
Not
cases,
anymore. I used to do, not anymore.
often cases I can always tell what it is as well by the engine sound and how I, like for example, like a 1.8 turbo Golf
Yeah.
or like a Golf R with a 2-litre turbo. You can always tell 350Z Nissan with a VQ engine. You can always tell that trumpet sound of the exhaust. You can always know what it is. Or a rotary like a Mazda.
Why if they change the exhaust? Why if they put a baller exhaust on it?
I'm gone. I'm gone.
You see?
Bounce that question back at you. What would be your car? No limit on the money. What would be
No
your car?
limit. Being the posh bastard I am.
Okay, I reckon my guess is like an AMG V12 S-Class of some sort.
No. Because the difference in price from what I've got now to the Maybach, which is the V12, is not that huge. It's not that huge. And 15 plate like I've got, it could easily be attainable. But no. I would probably be something, maybe Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I
Okay,
think that's
okay.
quite cool.
I've got to be honest. I hate SUVs. I've
Yeah,
got a big bone to
I've
pick with
got quite
SUVs.
into it lately. We got a caravan.
Okay,
So our
Okay.
holidays are with the caravan around
I love
around
that.
Silverstone. The girlfriend, yes, very much so, and it's balanced. Even though I seem to be quite Porsche into my comfort, I like my comfort. I like my comfy chairs and all that.
very comfy by the way. If you ever
And
come onto here, you get to enjoy.
In the car is the same. I'm getting old now, so I don't want back pains when after a long drive. We are planning a drive to Romania, so look
Awesome.
on to the that one. It'll probably be turned into a vlog or something.
That would be
so,
great. Like I actually thought about that today.
next year.
Yeah, I thought
Next
about the
year,
exact same thing.
Ivan is coming, my little one, and my partner. So
Awesome.
we're gonna have at least a 2 days drive down to Romania. I'm looking to get onto the famous Top Gear Road and all that.
The Transfalgan something. Yeah.
Transfiguration.
There you go. There you go.
I'm looking into that, and obviously, it's something I like. I like driving. I spend a lot of hours driving. I spend an hour and a half each way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when the traffic is all right, it's maybe an hour, a bit less, but 2 to 3 hours in traffic every day.
It's a lot, mate. It's
After
a lot.
12 hours, yeah.
To kill it.
And you want a comfortable car. You want a car that overtakes when you need it. You want a car. Yeah, so that would be it. Or if not a Cullinan, maybe, I don't know, a Rolls-Royce Wraith?
Which one's that?
The Suicide Doors one.
Oh, the Wraith. Yes, the
Yes.
big one. Yes. Okay.
It's
yes.
not that big.
It's quite big.
It's smaller
I mean,
than
all of
this.
them are massive.
It's smaller than this. It's a big hood at the front because it's got a big V12 and all that. But no, it's smaller than this.
They're very bricky cars. Do you know what's a better brick car for me? A Volvo. I'd rather go for an old Volvo.
Ah, that's cool.
It's a fraction of the cost or whatever, but I do love them flying. 850.
They're very safe. They're very
850R
safe.
Volvo, the one that used to race in British Touring Car Championship. In year 1994, I think they used to race them. And the funny thing is, that was the first ever estate car in a British Touring Car Championship, which is a saloon car series. And you can see on the clip, if you look up on YouTube, when they were first revealing it to the drivers, they would just look at the car like that, with open mouth, like, are they taking a? Do you know what I mean? Are they
taking
joking?
the mic.
Yeah,
They're joking.
basically,
Yeah.
But very cool, interesting. Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I've got a bone to pick with SUVs, like being
Go on.
unnecessarily
Be my guest.
being unnecessarily big.
We had a
and-
cash guy. So my partner just had someone crashed into her.
Did
and-
her a favour, to be
Yeah,
honest.
did her a
Rid of
favor. I hated the car. I always ended up with a back pain on that car. I don't know whether the seats or the suspension is too hard on it. It was a family car, 7-seater, and good towing car for the caravan and touring, going around in places and with the family and kids. But very, very down to earth, very humble. You know, it's nothing flashy. It's just a normal family car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like it. I'll be honest.
In my opinion, a saloon car or an estate does everything that an SUV does, but better. They're lighter, they're easier to maneuver, they look better as well. Who doesn't like an estate, right? And also, people often when you see like a couple, right, and they haven't got any kids, and they drive around in a massive Range Rover around the town, which is a car made for off-road, and it's never going to see off-road, right? And also like, or when you see one person driving in a massive hybrid SUV, it's like they don't think about the kinetic energy.
But maybe they have a caravan in storage somewhere, like we do.
Well, do you know what? When it comes to that, if you actually have a caravan, fair enough, fair play. You know what I mean? And also, by the way, I respect the whole caravan thing because I have a classic VW T4, hopefully coming out of the garage very soon.
Okay.
And that's our travel vehicle.
I
sort
had
of
a
thing.
Vito.
Did you? Okay,
I had a
Mercedes
Vito,
Vito.
yeah.
The first generation ones, you can pick them up some absolute baggage on Facebook
That's
Marketplace.
the one I had.
Really?
2003. 2003. I think it's first or second. No, first.
First gen, that would have been probably.
W638.
Okay.
So I think there's one before that with barn doors. So he's got on the back barn doors,
Yeah.
where mine had a hatch lifting. Still going strong. Sold it to another contractor.
V6?
No.
Because they did them with a
No,
V6, 3 litre V6, wasn't it?
no. That I think that's a special edition, like
Is
a
it?
Brabus one.
Okay.
No, this was a 2.2 normal diesel TDI. about 75 or 90 brakes, something like that. Very slow, 50 miles an hour.
Oh man,
up
my
here.
T4's the same. It's so slow, but it sounds
like-
great with a 5-cylinder because it's got the 5-cylinder diesel. 2.5.
Oh no, this is a 4-port,
Okay.
4-cylinder. No, just very humble, very normal diesel. Takes you where it needs to. You can carry a lot of stuff with it, and yeah, I had it turned into a camper.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was for work, and then we ended up buying after just coming out of the pandemic, buying a 4-berth caravan. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, 2016 built caravan.
Wow, okay. Proper.
I'm struggling. Pegasus.
Pegasus. Yeah, as you see them around
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
They got a little horse, don't they, as a logo,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
And what's a plural of
it's-
Pegasus? Pegeye?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Peg?
Yeah, but yeah, it's very comfy. It's got a nice aisle bed, and then it's got obviously the sofas. They turn into a bed in the front
Fair
as well.
play, yeah.
So yeah, we can bed 4 people
Very cool.
very comfortably, and have a nice holiday around if you prefer around Silverstone or some other Formula One track, or just going around
Scotland.
the country. Yeah,
That's the
whatever.
place to go. I love Scotland.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm thinking maybe when I become a millionaire, a Cullinan that can tow it up to the hills of Scotland.
Take the podcast on a road, mate. Do a little special series, podcast on a road or something like that.
Maybe,
You know?
we'll see.
But yeah, well, like I said, maybe there's a project that I'm currently working on, probably involving the camper van. So maybe something that we can do, something we can do there as well.
It is interesting because
Bring the dog as well.
bring the dog as well. Yeah, the dog.
It's got
China.
shades on.
He's got shades on. It's too sunny in here.
It actually is, to be fair. I'm getting warm in the sun.
You're getting hot. Yeah. So if you liked this conversation that I just had with Dave, please subscribe, follow. It's free. And also, if you like to engage with us and help our content go further, comment on the comment section below and leave your opinions. Also, remember there's part 3 to follow this conversation. Thank you.